Hi all, it's been a couple of days between videos. I've been a bit, well, tired basically. I'm back on the engine. I actually had the sump on and everything done, but because I live in the world of paranoia, my brain was like, because I've gone through this and done it all properly, by the book, everything, talked everything up, checked all my specs, ringed all my gaps, checked all my piston ring gaps, stuff like that, but my brain couldn't stop myself from going, are you sure? So, I live in a world of paranoia, and because I got a fair bit of coin invested in this motor now, my brain's like, just, what's a bit of cheap insurance? Just pop a piston back out, double check your ring gaps, check your bottom end gaps, check your, the gap between here, just give yourself a final, everything's a-okay. So I've just plopped number 8 out again, check my ring gaps, they're bang on 16 thousandths. It's supposed to be between 10 and 20 thousandths, so I was like, phew, thank fuck. I couldn't sleep. I knew I checked them, and you check them as you put them in, but because I'm just so paranoid, and this is the first time I've done this, my brain's just like, come on, are you absolutely certain you did it? And I was like, you're gonna win this one, you bastard. So I plucked one out. It's only 2 bolts. Undo the sump. It's like 16. It was 20 bolts. Drop the sump off. Plop a piston out. Pull the gap. Put it in the thing. Check it. All good. Very, very relieved to see that. Now I can sleep it now. Now I go, yes, I've double checked. Brain, you can shut the hell up. Now I can sleep. And I've got me 10 thousandths between them. So when you push them all that way, you got 10,000, push all that, 10,000, you push that sideways, you put 10,000 in there, and my green gaps are good. They gapped up at, I don't know if I just said this or not, I've just forgotten. They gapped up at 16 thousandths, which is, actually I think I just did say that, but you can hear it for the 5th time. 16 thousandths, which is bang between, it was pretty good between the 10 and 20. If they're too tight, well then you've got problems. And as my brother said, it's a bit of cheap insurance. But it's not going to hurt you to it's easier to pull one out now, be sure, be confident, rather than go, did I? And then drive down the road and have it be a catastrophic disaster when it blows itself to pieces because the ring expanded too much and caught the cylinder and destroyed the piston. And so it's cheap insurance, really. It doesn't cost anything to do that. So now we can crack on and move forward. So just one last visual inspection before everything disappears under here forever. The pickup's in, brand spanking new. They're so cheap, I don't know why he would put an old one in anyway. New pump drive. I actually put a little bit of oil in that before putting it on, just to make sure it didn't, first time it turns, it's not dry. The gaskets in here, they're all torqued up. They're actually not torqued to what I'd classify as a huge amount. I'll wipe that a bit before I put that back on. Must have spilt some as I took it off. You can see my camshaft in there, lovely, lubed. Timing chain's lubed. Harmonic balance is on. Timing cover is on. Timing marker's on. Everything's all good. The only thing I've got to do is hammer in the back plug, which I haven't done yet, which it's no showstopper, but I should have done that when the block was on the ground, but I will. Things you learn, and I've learned a few things from building this engine so far, and the first thing I would tell you is put the camshaft in first. I think, in my humble opinion, I think that would be the best way to do it. It allows you to clean all the camshaft bearings a lot easier rather than trying to stuff your hand through all those grooves like I did. I know most people put the actual crank in first, but I think, my humble opinion from experiences, I'd probably put the camshaft in first, then put the crank in, then all the pistons and the timing gear and all that stuff. Well, I'd probably go camshaft, crank, timing set, pistons, and then move forward from there. Interesting to note, these are a taper, so when you think they're getting tight, just do one more so that they're super tight. And what I did was, because there's supposed to be 3/8 of an inch gap between this and the bottom of the sump, so I got that piece of plastic down there, whittled it to 3/8 of an inch, which happens to be about 1 centimetre, and I sat it on the top and just dry fitted the sump on and off with no gaskets until I had the clearance, or until it was, you know, pretty close to the gap. The gasket would fill the gap. I took it out, and then that's how I know that's going to be clearing the sump beautifully, unlike the other sump that came off, and that was hard up against it. So yeah, we're progressing. Hopefully by the end of the week we should have the cylinder heads on. I'm actually hoping by the end of the week this will be a complete engine, and what I'm going to do is probably build it a frame to sit on, chuck the trans on it and a few things, and just assemble it on the ground as a running engine, and fire it up and run it on the ground on a sort of a running in stand type thing with the radiator and everything, before I go putting it in the car. Just, yeah, it'll be a bit easier, and you know, if something goes wrong, well, you don't have to take it back out of a car, do you? So I'll do that. Should be fun. So yeah, it's time to close it up for the last time. So there we go. The sump's back on, and in the process of that, I still made myself. I put the 4 corner bolts in, and I still went, oh, let's just double check the rod bearings, rod nuts again. Torqued them up. So yeah, just paranoid. Yeah, I hope I'm just waiting for parts basically, so I thought I'd give you a bit of a video, a bit of an update, see if I can keep you guys interested. I noticed quite a few people are still not subscribed who watch this stuff, so if you could click that subscribe button, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, we'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching.